Well, look, you need the veteran presence, you need the defense, but look, other teams do not guard him. Look at Brandon Jennings. Do you see? He's like, come on, look at that.
That's
right?
so disrespectful.
What is that like?
I'm playing devil's advocate here. That was disrespectful. That is the game plan because Rubio, we know he can't shoot. But at the same time, he's a point guard. He probably was running the play for a guy that had 47
This was my tweet of the night, by the way. Your boy Ham 11. Come on, well, right? A little Game of Thrones there for you?
Yeah, he was sort of antagonizing him there with that pose. But, Tracy's right. Shoot. He's following the game plan. You know what? When Chris Dunn is in there, his backup, they do the exact same thing. They back off him, too. That's an issue. And Rubio's confidence is really low.
You know what we used to do to guys that couldn't shoot like that? We'll back up and we'll say start the break if he shoots it. Because we know it's not going. Start the break!
Would you tell him? That's not nice. I'm saying, not nice. Another night, another triple-double for Russ. We got to talk about Westbrook, of course. Woo! Against the Wizards here. And this is also Coach Scott Brooks' first time back in the building since he was fired. He received a standing ovation from the Thunder fans. And look at that nice. That's very emotional for Russ. That is love out there. And very different, as you may remember, from November when Russ and KD ignored each other before and after their game in Oakland. Just a little bit different. Brooks said the rift between Kevin and Russ doesn't make him feel good, which is what he said. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, his face when he said it, too, when he gave that interview, it looked like he was in pain. Although he's got a $7 million a year contract. It worked out great for him, okay? He really shouldn't be crying. But look, these guys, Tracy, they built themselves into superstars with Scott Brooks. Just because they didn't win, they're not playing for the same team now, it shouldn't disqualify that. And Scott Brooks put a lot of work into it. Sometime down the line, is it going to be in 6 months and 6 years? They're going to apologize to each other for the way they're treating each other.
They're going to apologize to each other, or
some point. Someday they're going to be standing there in Oklahoma City getting their uniform numbers raised.
I know when you have two guys like this that are at this level, when they depart, there's going to be some things written that is not true. I remember going back, and when I departed Toronto, I left my cousin in Toronto, and the media put so much information out there that wasn't true about us.
We'd never do that.
to cause rift between the two of us. It just took a phone call for us to get on there and hash things out. Because there was a lot of things said that was not true about us.
But here's the big difference. That's a very good point, and you are correct about 98% of the situations in the NBA when this happens. Here's the difference in the 2% of this one. Russell Westbrook, whether he believes it or not, is actively feeding the fire that he and KD are in a feud.
Right.
It might just be for show. We all know Russ. He can play a narrative as much as anyone. But, coming to the game in that photographer's vest, the whole thing,
shade.
him sort of, ignoring KD on purpose when KD tried to tamp it down. Russ likes it, whether it's true or not.
Let's be honest, everybody else likes it too.
We like it. Scotty Brooks doesn't like it, but who knows? Coming up on The Jump, we are going to ask Tracy about some recent comments made about him, not from Vince Carter, but run our test.
I'm looking forward to this.
Also, who's in control of the thermostat at Wells Fargo Center? A little indoor humidity cost the Kings and Sixers, and we will play the blame game next. Welcome back to The Jump. Chris Ballard from Sports Illustrated wrote a fascinating profile of former Sixers GM Sam Hinkie. We, of course, all know how he left Philly, the famous letter. And he's got a non-compete clause now in his buyout, so he's taken a gap year, apparently. But the roster he created, it's not awful. That's a huge improvement there in Philly. Brian, do you think that he's been vindicated a little bit in his absence?
Yeah, I think, we're really not going to be able to judge him for maybe 3 to 5 years, which is not what anybody wants. They want right now.
Right.
I had dinner with Sam a few weeks ago, and I wasn't going to talk about it, but then I realized he just did the Sports Illustrated profile, so why should I keep it quiet? Here's what I think based on talking to him. I don't think he really regrets almost anything. I think he's pretty dogmatic to this day about how he did it, and I don't think he would have done many things different. Obviously, we all would do something different on something like that, but I think he believes in what he did, and I think if he gets another chance, like if another team wants to hire him, I think they're going to get the same pitch that he gave the 76ers a few years ago.
Tanking.
Building through the draft.
Tanking. Somebody will bring him in.
To be processing.
Damn, the process. If I'm a player on there, I want my organization to have faith in the roster that they put on there that we can win.
You know what he said, Tracy, you might be able to weigh in on? He said it was very difficult for him to quantify the value of veterans. And it's also, if you're on a losing team, because he got really ripped for not having more veterans.
Right.
If you have a losing team that's really, really bad, it's hard to find veterans who are willing to sit. It's one thing if you're, and this is right out of his mouth, it's one thing if you're on a good team and you're playing behind an all-star.
Right.
But if you're playing behind a rookie point guard who's had 7 turnovers, it's hard for you to sit there.
It is. I had that problem. I had that problem in Atlanta playing behind somebody that was making $5 million. I was on a minimum contract, and clearly I was better than this guy.
Right.
But he got the upper hand of, playing the bulk of the minutes, and I couldn't take that. Like, it drove me crazy. So, yeah, I definitely reasoned it. Yes.
Well, this is why it is a difficult thing. Now, I took from that article that not that he would do the process necessarily exactly the same way again, but that he would look at things inventively.
But I give him credit. I mean,
I took from that article that he has 40 Blazers that are all blue because he doesn't want to have to
Embiid was a great draft pick.
Yes, and there you go. And speaking of Joel Embiid and speaking of the Sixers, we do have to discuss that last night's game against the Kings was postponed due to flooding. They share an arena with the Flyers. Oh, look at that. See, it's so nice when people help Boogie.
Great work, Boogie.
Really, people say he's not a team guy. The ice, kind of some of that melted, and the humidity got through the court. Joel Embiid did tweet, well, the court was tanking last night, quote, trust the process. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Tracy,
enough process jokes from Joel. Let's mix up the game.
I like it. I'm all about Joel's Twitter.
This is very embarrassing, though, because how do you notify the fans that are on their way to watch this game?
In the arena. There was a bunch of fans in the arena.
That were there. Pay for parking, right, to come see this game, and you get there to realize that.
The looks on their faces
I will say this. They offered them a refund and a free ticket to another game, including parking, and you can go see them play the Magic or the Raptors.
Yeah, but imagine if you were a kid and first you have to find out that your parents want to take you to a Sixers game. That's dispiriting enough. And then you find, no, I'm just joking.
Then it might not work in your plans the next time, Brian.
Look, DeMarcus is just happy he knows he's not going to have to play last night.
Right.
He just knows, get that plane ready, we're going to get out of town.
For the players, I'm sure they're excited for wherever city they're getting in there early.
Not obviously the first time we have seen an NBA game get delayed or canceled because of an arena malfunction. We remember 1994 fireworks malfunction. That's much worse. Setting off the sprinklers inside of the San Antonio Aladome.
The air
soaking the fans. Wow. How would you like to have been a fan there, Tracy? You would not.
Who had the umbrella, though? That was genius.
Right? In 2011, the lights went out during a Magic Timberwolves game, right? Not good. And I believe that it's right. Yeah, just during the game, right?
Go to the hole.
So that's how you know you're not playing well. And then in 2014, a game in Mexico City was postponed due to excessive smoke in the arena. So really, Boogie with a squeegee mop is not that bad.
Hey, man, I've been to 2 preseason games that have been canceled because of ice problems. It happens.
It happens. There you go. And the game in the finals maybe should have been canceled because of air conditioner problems. So
what are you talking about?
That was a conspiracy.
That was an unforeseen event that nobody could have predicted.
Yeah, nobody could have predicted that. Well, I do want to talk about this last subject of our Black here, Tracy, because we all know one of the most talented people of your era. I was going to just say guards, but I really could say everything. Look at the video. Meta World Peace asked by Complex Sports if Tracy is in the same class as Kobe and Michael Jordan. Meta responded this. The only difference, I think, with Kobe was that Kobe lifted more than Tracy. So I think Kobe lifting more helped his career as far as staying strong. Kobe did 20 years. I think that was the only major difference. As far as talent, Tracy had it all. He was a big-time player. He probably would have averaged the same amount of points nowadays, even as back then. He was good. Very, very talented.
Probably.
Definitely was on the level of Kobe and Jordan at one point in time. Don't miss that last sentence. That sentence is very...
No, it's a huge compliment, especially with,
You're okay, I think.
I've seen Tracy at the gym in the hotel.
I mean, we're talking about 2 of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, it's a nice,
right?
that's
and
a
at
nice
some point, Kobe and I was a barbershop conversation as being the best in the league. I'm honored to be in that class. Now, as far as lifting, Meta played with me 1 year in Houston when I was pretty much done. I was shelling myself because I had knee surgery and I couldn't be that type of player. So no, the time that he was with me, I didn't lift that much weight. But throughout my career, that's all I did after games was lift weights. I had to because I have a slight case of scoliosis in my back that nobody really even know about in my career. And I had to do that. I was only projected to play 4 years in the NBA.
What?
Seriously,
Wait,
coming out.
So who told you that?
Because of the slight case of scoliosis in my back. The doctors told me that.
When did that come up for you? You were in high school?
No, this came up.
With the scoliosis. When did someone tell you that?
In the pre-draft.
In pre-draft
yes,
work?
Yes, this came up that I was really
that must have
projected.
been kind of terrifying.
It was. And I lasted 15 years, so I overcame, what was projected of me. So, yeah. But no, great compliment, though.
When you're a kid and you think you're going to have this career and everyone says, oh, you're going to get drafted right into the NBA and you're going through these workouts and someone says, oh, we have a problem with your back?
Yeah. I was, terrified because I did have back problems at a young age and I had them throughout my career. So I had to find alternatives to not going to the knife, in which I did. My back went out on me on several occasions where I had to get carried out on a stretcher. And if anybody knows about your back going out on you, it's the worst feeling ever. But I managed to have a pretty good career.
Decent, halfway decent career.
Okay.
Not bad.
Man, you're like a medical book with all the stuff you've had happen to you.
Yeah.
Crazy. I learn stuff every time I talk to him.
Hall of Fame numbers. Tom Haberstraw broke it down for us. I will be very excited to be campaigning for you in a year or two. We got to take a quick break, but first, here is our distant replay from this date in 2008. Enjoy.
7 road wins.
Bobcats.
Oh! Not the 360 or the 180. Oh!
Dwayne Jones.
Oh, on my man Mike Miller. On my boy Spanky. Spanky.
Tomorrow, come on. The Jump is going to Chicago.
Is that the plane we're taking?
Well, Tracy's got his own plane, according to this. So, hey, full hour, 3 o'clock Eastern. Join us
Close the window
tomorrow.
when you fly, though, Trace. My God.
Time for Make or Miss, people. This is my favorite Make or Miss of the week. Make Beef Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas held up a crying Jordan head at the Indiana-North Carolina game last night. A little poking fun at his old rival. Brian, is this the best thing ever? That is my question to you.
It's better than any trash talk he could have ever given in any time in his career. It's my favorite thing I've seen. I love it. Keep it going.
You gonna keep me off the dream team? Okay.
I like we started the show with one Isaiah Thomas. We're ending with another. This is beautiful stuff. Miss Posters. Zach LaVine said before yesterday's game he wanted to dunk on Kristaps Porzingis, but guess what? KP blocked his teammate Shabazz Muhammad at the rim last night. You think LaVine just lit a fire into the
No, I think that's what KP does.
Yeah.
Get that weak stuff out of here.
That wasn't even weak, though, Trace. He was like, get out of here anyway.
Wow.
I don't know. Karl Anthony Towns did get a little bit on the unicorn, I thought, during that game. Make fashion statements. Jordan Clarkson wore this pink jacket a few days after wearing a kilt. Tracy, how do we feel about this?
Look like he's a part of the Saved by the Bell cast.
I was going to go with Grease and Rydell High, but maybe, I don't know. That means I'm just old.
No.
All right, the kilt, though, too much. Miss versatility. Dwight Howard tried to lead a fast break yesterday. A for effort. It did not go well. Brian, do you think that he will ever try to run points like this again?
All big men want to be guards, and all guards want to be big men, and...
Way to kill Jerry West up on that backboard.
That was not good at all. Make comebacks. Former Baylor center Isaiah Austin, this is such a good story, cleared to play basketball. He is currently working out, trying to get ready for a team overseas. And this is amazing, right?
This is. I mean, to be able to fulfill your childhood dream, this is awesome.
Who's not going to root for this? This is an awesome thing. We all want to follow up on this, and we hope he gets good news and finds a spot.
We were talking in the last segment about Tracy having that moment of almost, oh my God, your basketball career could get taken away of you at the last minute. That's exactly what happened to Isaiah Austin right before the draft. So
kudos
nice
to him,
job. That's it from LA. We are all going to get on a plane to Chicago. We will see you there, 3 o'clock Eastern
Short
tomorrow.
left.
That's the end.